he wanted to see all the devotees, how much dust you have gathered. He'll see personally. Let me see the amount of your dust you have gathered by sleeping. Then I will understand that you are very hot. So then after
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Agnanatimirandasya Gyananjana Salakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. Sri Chaitanya Manobhistam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kata Mahyam Darati Swapadantikam. Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Yutapadakamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Sri Visakanvitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dina Bando Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gourangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrisabhanusute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vancha Kalpatarupyascha Kripa Sindhupya Patitanam Pavanepyo Vaishnavepyo Namo Namaha Namam Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesa Shunyavari Pashya Deshatarine Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadara Srivasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudirayed Srinvatam Svakata Krishna Punyashravana Kirtana Ridyandastoya Bhadrani Vidunuti Suhritsatam Nashtaprayeshva Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki. Before reciting the Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, which is the very means of conquest, one should offer respectful obeisances unto the person of Godhead Narayana, unto Nara-Narayana Rishi, the supermost human being, unto Mother Saraswati, the goddess of learning, and unto Śrīla Vyasadeva, the author. Sri Krishna, the person of Godhead, who is the Paramatma super soul in everyone's heart and the benefactor of the truthful devotee, cleanses desire for material enjoyment from the heart of the devotee who has developed the urge to hear his messages, which are in themselves virtuous when properly heard and chanted. By regular attendance in classes on the Bhagavatam and by rendering of service to the pure devotee, all that is troublesome to the heart is almost completely destroyed, and loving service unto the person of Godhead, who is praised with transcendental songs, is established as an irrevocable fact. Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam ki jai. Śrīla Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna, Prabhu Standard Pranam. Jai Śrīla Prabhupada. Thank you for joining.
You were watching the video before starting the session. You were watching the video on YouTube, right?
What, Prabhu? You're not clear.
The video you were watching right now.
Yes, Prabhu.
Prabhu, what was the name of the channel?
What channel, you ask?
Yes.
I forgot the name. It's yeah, send the link of that lecture.
Prabhu, and are there any videos of Prabhupada where there is full interview of Prabhupada?
There is what?
Videos of Prabhupada where there is a full interview.
Full length
given
what?
By Prabhupada. Full interview
like,
given by Prabhupada.
Oh, interview. Yes, Prabhu. There is many interviews.
No, but I think there are only it is only of 7 minutes or 8 minutes like that. Is there a full interview like that on the YouTube channel?
Yes, Prabhu. I think there is one 5-minute one on the television. This one.
Is there any significance in the color of the robe?
At least at the present moment, people think that by keeping long hair, it becomes.
Yeah, there's this one. Okay, now let's start reading. Haribol. 3:20:11. Sadvitiya kimasrijan svantantra uta karmasu ahosvit samahatas sarva idam sma samakalpayan Svaditiya with their wives, Kim, whether, Asrijan, created, Svatantraha, remaining independent, Uta or Karmasu, in their actions, Ahosvid or else, Samhataha, Samhata, jointly, Sarve, all the Prajapatis, Idam this, Sma Samakalpayan, produce, translation. Did they evolve the creation in conjunction with their respective wives? Did they remain independent in their action, or did they all jointly produce it? I think he's asking about Prajapatis. Yes. Text number 12. Maitreya Uvacha Daivena Durvitarkyena Parenani Mishena Cha Jata Kshobha Bhagavato Mahanashid Gunatrayat. Maitreya Uvacha, Maitreya said, Daivena, by superior management, known as destiny, Durvitarkyena, beyond empiric speculation, Parena, by Mahavishnu, Animishena, by the potency of eternal time, Cha and Jatakshabad, the equilibrium was agitated. Bhagavata, the person of Godhead, Mahan, the total material elements, the Mahatattva, Asid were produced, Gunatrayat, from the three modes of nature. Translation. Maitreya said, when the equilibrium of the combination of the three modes of nature was agitated by the unseen activity of the living entity, by Mahavishnu, and by the force of time, the total material elements were produced. Purport. The cause of the material creation is described here very lucidly. The first cause is Deva, or the destiny of the conditioned soul. The material creation exists for the conditioned souls who wanted to become a false lord for sense enjoyment. One cannot trace out the history of when the conditioned soul first desired to lord it over the material nature. But in Vedic literature, we always find that the material creation is meant for the sense enjoyment of the conditioned soul. There is a nice verse which says that the sum and substance of the conditioned soul's sense enjoyment is that as soon as he forgets his primary duty to render service to the Lord, he creates an atmosphere of sense enjoyment which is called Maya, that is the cause of material creation. Another word used here is Durvitarkyena. No one can argue about when and how the conditioned soul became desirous of sense enjoyment, but the cause is there. Material nature is an atmosphere meant only for the sense enjoyment of the conditioned soul, and it is created by the person of Godhead. It is mentioned here that in the beginning of creation, the material nature or Prakriti is agitated by the personality of Godhead Vishnu. There are three Vishnus mentioned. One is Mahavishnu, and another is Garbhodakasaya Vishnu, and the third is Kshirodakasaya Vishnu. The first canto of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam discusses all the three Vishnus, and here also it is confirmed that Vishnu is the cause of creation. From Bhagavad Gita also we learn that Prakriti begins to work and is still working under Krishna or Vishnu's plans of superintendence, but the Supreme Person of Godhead is unchangeable. One should not misunderstand that because the creation emanates from the Supreme Person of Godhead, he has therefore transformed into this material cosmic manifestation. He exists in his personal form always, but a cosmic manifestation takes place by his inconceivable potency. The workings of that energy are difficult to comprehend, but it is understood from Vedic literature that a conditioned soul creates his own destiny and is offered a particular body by the laws of nature under the superintendence of the Supreme Person of Godhead, who always accompanies him as Paramatma. Text number 13. Rajah Pradhanan Mahatas Trilingo Daiva Chodita Jatah Sasarja Bhutadir Viyad Adini Panchasa. Rajas Pradhanat, in which the element of rajas or passion predominates. Mahata, from the Mahatattva. Trilinga, of three kinds. Daiva, Choditat, impelled by superior authority. Jata, was born. Sasarja, evolved. Bhuta Adi, false ego, origin of the material elements. Vyad, the ether. Adini, beginning with. Panchasa, in groups of 5. Translation. As impelled by destiny of the jiva, the false ego, which is of three kinds, has evolved from the Mahatattva, in which the elements of rajas predominates. From the ego, in turn, evolved many groups of 5 principles. Purport. The primordial matter of or prakriti, material nature, consisting of 3 modes, generates 4 groups of 5. The first group is called elementary and consists of earth, water, fire, air, and ether. The second group of 5 is called tanmatra, referring to the sub-elements. Sense objects: sound, touch, form, taste, and smell. The third group is the 5 sense organs for acquiring knowledge: eyes, ears, nose, tongue, and skin. The fourth group is the 5 working senses: speech, hands, feet, anus, and genitals. Some say that there are 5 groups of 5. One group is the sense objects, one is the 5 elements, one is the 5 sense organs for acquiring knowledge, and another is the senses for working, and the 5th group is the 5 deities who control these divisions. Text number 14. Tani chaikaikas-srashtum asamarthani bhautikam samhadya daiva yogena haimam andam avasrijan. Tani, those elements, cha and eka, separately. Srashtum, to produce. Asamarthani, unable. Bhautikam, the material universe. Samhatya, having combined. Daiva Yogena, with the energy of the Supreme Lord. Haimam, shining like gold. Andam, globe. Avasrijan, produced. Translation. Separately unable to produce the material universe, they combined with the help of the energy of the Supreme Lord and were able to produce a shining egg. So the egg came first. Text number 15. So shaista bidi shalile andakosho niratmaka shagram vaivarsha sahasram anvavat sititam ishvara saha it ashaishta lay abdi shalile, on the waters of the causal ocean, and the kosha egg niratmaka, in an unconscious state, sagram, a little more than, vai, in fact, varsha sahasram, 1,000 years, anvavatsit, became situated, tam, in the egg, ishvara, the Lord. Translation. For over 1,000 years, the shiny egg lay on the waters of the causal ocean in the lifeless state. Then the Lord entered it as Karbodakasai Vishnu. Purport. From this verse it appears that all the universes are floating in the causal ocean. Text number 16. Tasya naber abud padmam sahasrar korudiditi Sarva Jivani Kaya Ukoyatra Swayam Abhut Svarat. Why is it so short? Tasya of the Lord, Nabe from the navel, Abud sprouted up, Padmam a lotus, Sahasrarka 1,000 suns, Uru more, Titi with dazzling splendor, Sarva all, Jivanikaya resting place of conditioned souls, Oka place, Yatra where, Swayam himself, Abud emanated, Svara the omnipotent Lord Brahma. Translation. From the navel of the person of Godhead, Karbodakasai Vishnu, sprouted a lotus flower effulgent like 1,000 blazing suns. This lotus flower is the reservoir of all conditioned souls, and the first living entity who came out of the lotus flower was the omnipotent Brahma. Purport. It appears from this verse that the conditioned souls who rested within the body of the person of Godhead after the dissolution of the last creation came out in the sum total form of the lotus. This is called Hiranyagarbha. The first living entity to come out was Lord Brahma, who is independently able to create the rest of the manifested universe. The lotus is described here to be as effulgent as the glare of 1,000 suns. This indicates that the living entities as part and parcels of the Supreme Lord are also of the same duality, since the Lord also diffuses his bodily glare known as Brahma Jyoti. The description of the Vaikuntha Loka stated in Bhagavad Gita and other Vedic literature is confirmed herewith. In Vaikuntha, the spiritual sky, there is no need of sunshine, moonshine, electricity, or fire. Every planet there is self-effulgent like the sun. So the souls are effulgent. Text number 17. Sonuvishto Bhagavata Yashete Shalilasaye Loka Shamstam Yatha Purvam Nirmame Samstaya Svaya. Saha Lord Brahma Anuvishta was entered Bhagavata by the Lord Yaha who Shete sleeps Salilasaye on the Garbhodaka ocean. Loka Samstam the universe, Yatha Purvam, as previously, Nirmame created, Samstaya, by intelligence, Svaya, his own translation. When the Supreme Person of Godhead, who is laying on the Garbhodaka ocean, entered the heart of Brahma, Brahma brought his intelligence to bear, and with the intelligence invoked, he began to create the universe as it was before. Purport. At a certain time, the person of Godhead, Karanodakasai Vishnu, lies in the Karana ocean and produces many thousands of universes from his breathing. Then he enters again into each and every universe as Karbodakasai Vishnu and fills up the half of each universe with his own perspiration. The other half of the universe remains vacant, and that vacant region is called outer space. Then the lotus flower sprouts from his abdomen and produces the first living creature, Brahma. Then again, as Kshirodakasai Vishnu, the Lord enters into the heart of every living entity, including Brahma. This is confirmed in Bhagavad Gita 15th chapter. The Lord says, I am seated in everyone's heart, and by me are remembrance and forgetfulness made possible. As the witness of the activities of the individual entities, the Lord gives each one remembrance and intelligence to act according to his desires at the time he was annihilated in last birth in the last millennium. This intelligence is invoked according to one's own capacity or by the love of karma. Brahma was the first living entity, and he was empowered by the Supreme Lord to act in charge of the mode of passion. Therefore, he was given the required intelligence, which is so powerful and extensive that he is almost independent of the control of the Supreme Person of Godhead. Just as highly posted manager is almost as independent as the owner of a firm. So Brahma is described here as independent because as the Lord's representative to control the universe, he is almost as powerful and independent as the Supreme Person of Godhead. The Lord, as the super soul within Brahma, gave him the intelligence to create. The creative power, therefore, of every living entity is not his own. It is by the grace of the Lord that one can create. There are many scientists and great workers in this material world who have wonderful creative force, but they act and create only according to the direction of the Supreme Lord. A scientist may create many wonderful inventions, by the direction of the Lord, but it is not possible for him to overcome the stringent laws of material nature by his intelligence, nor is it possible to acquire such intelligence from the Lord, because the Lord's supremacy would then be hampered. It is stated in this verse that Brahma created the universe as it was before. This means that he created everything by the same name and form as in the previous cosmic manifestation. So nothing is new. Text number 18. Sasarja chayaya vidyam panchaparvanamargata tamisram mandata mishram tamomoho mahatama. Sasarja created Shayaya with his shadow, Vidyam, ignorance, Panchaparvanam, 5 varieties, Agrita, first of all, Tamishram, Tamishra, Andatamishram, Andatamishra, Tamaha, Tamas, Moha, Moha, Mahatama, Mahatamas, or Mahamoha. Translation. First of all, Brahma created from his shadow the coverings of ignorance of the conditioned souls. They are 5 in number and are called Tamisra, Andatamisra, Tamas, Moha, and Mahamoha. Purport. The conditioned souls or living entities who come to the material world to enjoy sense gratification are covered in the beginning by the 5 different conditions. Are covered in the beginning by the 5 different conditions. The 4th condition is a covering of Tamishra, or anger. Constitutionally, each and every living entity has minute independence. It is misuse of that minute independence of the conditioned soul to think that he can also enjoy like the Supreme Lord, or to think, why shall I not be a free enjoyer like the Supreme Lord? This forgetfulness of his constitutional position is due to anger or envy. So anger and envy is the same thing. The living entity, being eternally a part and parcel, a servitor of the Supreme Lord, can never by constitution be an equal enjoyer with the Lord. When he forgets this, however, and tries to be one with him, this condition is called Tamisra. Even in the field of spiritual realization, this Tamisra mentality of the living entity is hard to overcome. In trying to get out of the entanglement of material life, there are many who want to be one with the Supreme. Even in the transcendental activities, this lower grade mentality of Tamisra continues. Anda Tamisra involves considering death to be the ultimate end. The atheists generally think that the body is the self and that everything is therefore ended with the end of the body. Thus they want to enjoy material life as far as possible during the existence of the body. Their theory is, as long as you live, you should live prosperously. Never mind whatever you commit all kinds of so-called sins. You must eat some socially, beg, borrow, and steal, and if you think that by stealing and borrowing you are being entangled in civil activities for which you will have to pay, then you just forget that misconception, because after death everything is finished. No one is responsible for anything he does during his life. This atheistic conception of life is killing human civilization, for it is without knowledge of the continuation of eternal life. This Andatamishra ignorance is due to tamas, the condition of not knowing anything about the spiritual is called tamas. This material world is also generally called tamas because 99% of its living entities are ignorant of their identity as soul. Almost everyone is thinking that he is the body. He has no information of the spirit soul. Guided by this misconception, one always thinks, this is my body and everything in relationship with this body is mine. For such misguided living entities, sex life is the background of material existence. Actually, the conditioned soul is in ignorance in this material world are simply guided by sex life, and as soon as they get the opportunity for sex life, they become attached to so-called home, motherland, children, wealth, and opulence. As these attachments increase, so moha, or the illusion of the bodily conception of life, also increases. Thus the idea that I am this body and everything belonging to this body is mine also increases. And as the whole world is put into moha, sectarian societies, families, and nationalities are created, and they fight with one another. Mahamoha means to be mad after material enjoyment, especially in this age of Kali. Everyone is overwhelmed by the madness of to accumulate paraphernalia for material enjoyment. These definitions are very nicely given in Vishnu Purana, wherein it is said, Tamo viveko tamo. Oh, what is this? It's really long. Tamo viveko moha shyad antahkarana vibhrama mahamohastu vigneyo gramya bhoga shukhaisana maranam hyandah tamishram krodha uchyate avidya pancha parvaisha pradurbhuta mahatmana. Text number 19. Visasarjatmana kayam nabi nandamstamomayam jagruryaksharamsi latrim kshutrid samudbhavam. Visasarja, true of Atmana, his own, Kayam body, Nanat, Abhinandan, being pleased, Tamas Mayam, made of ignorance, Jagru, took possession, Yaksha, Rakshamsi, the Yakshas and Rakshasas, Ratrim, night, Kshut, hunger, Trishi, Trish, thirst, Samudbhavam, the source. Translation: out of disgust, Brahma threw off the body of ignorance, and taking this opportunity, Yakshas and Rakshasas sprang for possession of this body, which continued to exist in the form of night. Night is the source of hunger and thirst. Text number 20. Kshutridbyam upasrishtaste tam jagdum abidudruvu marakshatainam jakshadvam ityuchu kshutradartita. Kshutrabhyam, by hunger and thirst, pasrishta, were overcome. The demons, yakshas and rakshasas, tam, Lord Brahma, jagdum, to eat. Abhidudruvu, ran towards, ma, do not, rakshata, spare, enam, him, yakshadvam, eat. Iti, thus, Uchu said, kshutrish, ardita, afflicted by hunger and thirst. Translation: overpowered by hunger and thirst, they run to devour Brahma from all sides and cried, "Spare him not, eat him up." Purport: the representatives of the Yakshas and Rakshasas still exist in some countries of the world. It is understood that such uncivilized men take pleasure in killing their own grandfathers and holding a love feast by roasting their bodies. Oh, that's crazy. Okay, Haribol, who wants to read from text number 21?
Hare Krishna, Dhandu Pram, Jai Shri Prabhupada. I can read verses.
Jai Shri Prabhupada. Yes, Prabhu, thank you.
Text 21. Devastan aha samvigno mamam jakshata rakshata aho me yaksha rakshasmi rakshamsi prajayuyam babhuvita. Synonyms: Deva, Lord Brahma, then to them, aha, said, samvigna, being anxious, ma, do not, ma, may, jakshata, eat, rakshata, protect, aho, may, me, my, yaksha, rakshamsi, o yakshas and rakshasas, praja, sons, yuyam, you, babhu, vita, were born. Translation: Brahma, the head of the demigods, full of anxiety, asked them, "Do not eat me, but protect me. You are born from me and have become my sons. Therefore, you are Yakshas and Rakshasas." Purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. The demons who were born from the body of Brahma were called Yakshas and Rakshasas because some of them cried that Brahma should be eaten and the others cried that he should not be protected. The ones who said that he should be eaten were yakshas, and the ones who said that he should not be protected became rakshasas, man-eaters. The two yakshas and rakshasas are the original creation by Brahma and are represented even until today in the uncivilized men who are scattered all over the universe. They are born of the mode of ignorance, and therefore, because of their behavior, they are called rakshasas or man-eaters. Text 22. देवता प्रभयाया दिव्यं प्रमुखतो सृजत् ते आहार ते आहारसुर्दिव्यन्तो विश विसृष्टां तां प्रभामः. Synonyms: Devata, the demigods; Prabhaya, the with the glories of light; Yaya, those who; Divyam, shining; Pramukta, chiefly; Asrajat, created; They; Aharshu, took possession of; Devyanta, being active; Vishritam, separated; Tam, that; Prabham, effulgent form; Aha, daytime. Translation: He then created the chief demigods who were shining with the glory of goodness. He dropped before them the effulgent form of daytime, and the demigods sportingly took possession of it. Purport: Demons were born from the creation of night, and the demigods were born from the creation of day. In other words, demons like the yakshas and rakshasas are born of the quality of ignorance, and demigods are born of the quality of goodness. Text 23. Devo devan jagan jagnanta srajati स्मातिलोलुपान् त एनं लोलुपतया मैथुनाया पिपेदिरे. Synonyms: Deva, Lord Brahma; Devan, demons; Jagannatha, from his backside; Srijati Sma, gave birth; Atilolupan, excessively fond of sex; They, Enam, Lord Brahma; Lolupataya, with lust; Maithunaya, for copulation; Abhipedre, approached. Translation: Lord Brahma then gave birth to the demons from the backside of his body, and they were very fond of sex. Because they were too lustful, they approached him for copulation. Purport: Sex life is the background of the material existence. Here also it is repeated that demons are very fond of sex life. The more one is free from the desire for sex, the more he is promoted to the level of the demigods. The more one is inclined to enjoy sex, the more he is degraded to the level of demoniac life. I think Lord Brahma also gave birth to the transgender species
Yes,
directly
bro.
from somewhere I read. I think this will come as well here. Yeah, text 24. Tato hasan sa bhagavan asurer nirapatrapay anviyaman anviyamanastarasa krudo bhitat parapatat. Synonyms: Tata, then; Hasan, laughing; Sa Bhagavan, the worshipful Lord Brahma; Asure, by the demons; Nirapatrape, shameless; Anviyamana, being followed; Tarasa, in great haste; Ruddha, angry; Bhitat, being afraid; Parapatat, ran away. Translation: The worshipful Brahma first laughed at their stupidity, but finding the shameless asuras close upon him, he grew indignant and ran in great haste out of fear. Purport: Sexually inclined demons have no respect even for their fathers, and the best policy for a saintly father like Brahma is to leave such demoniac sons. Text 25. Sa upavrajya varadam prapannarti haram harim anugrahaya bhaktanam anurupat madarshanam. Synonyms: Sa, Lord Brahma; Upavrija, approaching; Varadam, the bestower of all boons; Prapanna, of those taking shelter at his lotus feet; Arti, distress; Haram, who dispels; Harim, Lord Sri Hari; Anugrahaya, for showing mercy; Bhaktanam, to his devotees; Anurupa, in suitable forms; Atma Darshanam, who manifests himself. He approached the personality of Godhead, who bestows all boons and who dispels the agony of his devotees and of those who take shelter of his lotus feet. He manifests his innumerable transcendental form for the satisfaction of his devotees. Purport. Here the words Bhaktanam Anurupatma means that the personality of Godhead manifests his multiforms according to the desires of the devotees. For example, Hanumanji was Bajrangbali, actually it is Bajrangbali, wanted to see the form of the Lord as the personality of Godhead. Ramachandra, whereas other Vaishnavas want to see the form of Radha Krishna, and still the other devotees want to see the Lord in the form of Lakshmi Narayan. The Mayavadi philosophers think that although all these forms are assumed by the Lord, just as the devotees desire to see him, actually he is impersonal. From Brahma Samhita, however, we can understand that this is not for the Lord has multi forms. It is said in the Brahma Samhita, Advaitam Achyutam, the Lord does not appear before the devotee because of devotee's imagination. Brahma Samhita further explains that the Lord has innumerable forms. Ramadimurtishu Kala Nimayena Tishtam. He exists in millions and millions of forms. There are 84 lakh species of living entities, but the incarnations of the Supreme Lord are innumerable. In the Bhagavatam, it is stated that as the waves in the sea cannot be counted but appear and disappear continually, so the incarnations and forms of the Lords are innumerable. A devotee is attached to a particular form, and it is that form which he worships. We have just described the first appearance of the boar within this universe. There are innumerable universes, and somewhere or other the boar form is now existing. All the forms of the Lord are eternal. It is the devotee's inclination to worship a particular form, and he engages in devotional service to that form. In a verse in the Ramayana, Hanuman, the great devotee of Rama, said, I know that there is no difference between the Sita, Ram, and Lakshmi Narayan forms of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, but nevertheless, the form of Rama and Sita has absorbed my affection and love. Therefore, I want to see the Lord in the form of Ram and Sita. Similarly, the Gaudiya Vaishnavas loves the form of Radha and Krishna and Rukmini at Dwarka. The words Bhaktanam Anurupatma Darshanam means that the Lord is always pleased to favor the devotee in the particular form in which the devotee wants to worship and render service unto him. In this verse, it is stated that Brahma approached Hari, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. This form of the Lord is Kshirodakshai Vishnu. Whenever there is some trouble and Brahma has to approach the Lord, he can approach Kshirodakshai Vishnu. And it is the grace of the Lord that whenever Brahma approaches about disturbances in the universe, the Lord gives him relief in so many ways. Text 26. So the Brahma along with the demigods, they always approach Kshirodakshai Vishnu, it seems.
Yes, Prabhu.
Yes. Kshirodakshai means the milk ocean, Lord Vishnu lying in the milk ocean. Yeah. 26. Pahi mam paramatmamste preshanena shrajam praja ta ima yabitum papa upakra manimam prabho. Synonyms: Pahi, protect; Mam, may; Paramatmam, O Supreme Lord; Te, your; Preshanena, by order; Srajam, I created; Praja, living beings; Ta, Ima, those very persons; Yabhitum, to have sex; Papa, sinful beings; Upakramanti, are approaching; Mam, may; Prabhu, O Lord. Translation: Lord Brahma, approaching the Lord, addressed him thus: My Lord, please protect me from these sinful demons who were created by me under your order. They are infuriated by an appetite for sex and have come to attack me. Purport: it appears here that the homosexual appetite of males for each other is created in this episode of the creation of the demons by Brahma. Oh, so they were homosexuals actually.
Yes,
In
Prabhu.
other words, the homosexual appetite of a man for another man is demoniac and is not for any sane male in the ordinary course of life. X27. त्वमेकः किल लोकानां क्लिष्टानां क्लेशनाशनः त्वम् एकः क्लेशदस्तेषाम् अनाशन्नपदां तव. Synonyms: Tvam, you, Eka, alone, Kila, indeed, Lokanam, of the people, Klishta, Klishta, Nam, afflicted with miseries, Klesha, the distress, Nashana, relieving, Twameka, you alone, Klesha, the inflicting distress, Tesham, on those, Anashanna, not taken shelter, Padam, fate, Tava, your. Translation: My Lord, you are the only one capable of ending the affliction of the distressed and inflicting agony on those who never resort to your fate. Purport: The word kleshadastesham anashanna padam tava indicate that the Lord has two concerns. The first is to give protection to persons who take shelter of his lotus feet, and the second is to give trouble to those who are always demoniac and who are inimical towards the Lord. Maya's function is to give affliction to the non devotees. Here Brahma said, You are the protector of the surrendered souls. Therefore, I surrender onto your lotus feet. Please give me protection from these demons. X28. So Vardharyasya Karpanyam Vivikta Dhyatmadarshana Vimunch Vimunchatmatanum Ghoram Ityukto Vimumochaha. Synonyms: Sir, the Supreme Lord Hari, Avadharya, perceiving, Asya, of Lord Brahma, Karpanyam, the distress, Vivikta, without a doubt, Adhyatma, minds of others, Darshana, one who can see, Vimuncha, cast off, Atmatanum, your body, Ghoram, impure, Ityuktva, thus commanded, Vimumochaha, Lord Brahma threw it off. Translation: The Lord, who can distinctly see the minds of others, perceived Brahma's distress and said to him, Cast off this impure body of yours. Thus commanded by the Lord, Brahma cast off his body. Purport: The Lord is described here by the word Vivikta Dhyatma Darshana. If anyone can completely perceive another's distress without doubt, it is the Lord Himself. If someone is in distress and wants to get relief from his friend, sometimes it so happens that his friend does not appreciate the volume of distress he is suffering. But for Supreme Lord, it is not difficult. The Supreme Lord as Paramatma is sitting within the heart of every living entity, and he directly perceives the exact causes of distress. In Bhagavad Gita, the Lord says, Sarvasya chaham hridisam nivishta. I am sitting in everyone's heart, and because of me, one's remembrance and forgetfulness occur. Thus, whenever one fully surrenders unto Supreme Lord, he finds that he is sitting within his heart. He can give us direction how to get out of dangers or how to approach him in devotional service. The Lord, however, asked Brahma to give up his present body because it had created the demoniac principle. According to Sridhar Swami, Brahma's constant dropping of his body does not refer to his actually giving up his body. Rather, he suggests that Brahma gave up a particular mentality. Mind is the subtle body of the living entity. We may sometimes be absorbed in some thought which is sinful, but if we give up the sinful thought, it may be said that we give up the body. Can you go down, Prabhu? No. Brahma's mind was not in correct order when he created the demons. It must have been full of passion because the entire creation was passionate. Therefore, such passionate sons were born. It follows it follows that any father and mother should also be careful while begetting the children. The mental condition of a child depends upon the mental status of his parent at the time he is conceived. According to the Vedic system, therefore, the Garbhadhana Samskar or the ceremony for giving birth to a child is observed before begetting a child. One has to sanctify his perplexed mind. When the parents engage their minds in the lotus feet of the Lord, and in such a state the child is born, naturally good devotee children come. When the society is full of such good population, there is no trouble from the demonic mentalities. Haribol, if someone else can continue. Rishikesh Prabhu. Thank you so much, Hare Krishna.
Yes, we'll continue. Text 29. Um, is Prabhu.
Haribol, yes, Prabhu, please read.
Bhojam Mada Vivala Lokanam Vanchit Kalpa Lasada Dukula Channa Rodasa Tam that body Kvanat cling with ankle Charana Amal with sweet intoxication Vivala overwhelmed Lochanam with eyes Kanchi Kalpa with a girdle made of golden ornaments Vilasat shining Dukula by fine cloth Channa covered Udasam having Translation proposed by His Embassy Bhaktivedanta Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Translation: the body given up by Brahma took the form of the evening twilight, when the day and night meet, a time which kindles passion. The asuras, who are passionate by nature, dominated as they are by the element of rajas, took it for a damsel whose lotus feet resounded with the tinkling of anklets, whose eyes were wide with intoxication, and whose hips were covered by a cloth over which shone a girdle. Purport: as early morning is the period for spiritual cultivation, so the beginning of evening is the period of passion. Demonic men are generally very fond of enjoyment, therefore, they very much appreciate the approach of evening. The demons the approach of the evening twilight to be a beautiful woman, and they began to adore her in various ways. They imagined the twilight to be a very beautiful woman with tinkling bangles on her feet, a grid on her lips, and beautiful breasts, uh, and for their sexual satisfaction, they imagined the appearance of this beautiful girl before them. So, what is the meaning of girdle?
What, Prabhu?
Girdle,
Which part? What is the question?
the girdle. What is that meaning?
Oh, girdle. Where it is? This one.
It's down to yes.
It's like a belt.
Called yes. Text 30. Yon ya sleshaya tunga nirantara payodaram punasham sutvijan asila valokan anyonya to each other sleshaya because of clinging Tunga Nirantara without intervening space. Vaya Dharma breast Sunasam Sutwijam beautiful teeth make the lovely Hasa smile. Leela Avlokanam thoughtful glance. Translation: her breast projected upwards because of their clinging to each other and because they were too contiguous to admit any intervening space. She had a shapely nose and beautiful teeth. A lovely smile played on her lips, and she cast a thoughtful glance at the asuras. Text 41. Ku Guhantim Vridayan Yatmanam Nila Laka Varutinam Uklabhasya Yasura Dharma Sarvasammohu Guhantim hiding Vridaya out of shyness Atmanam herself Neela dark Alka hair Varuthinam name a bunch Uglabya upon imagining Asura demons Dharma Ovidra survey all Sammo very captivated Sriyam woman translation. Adorned with dark tresses, she hid herself as it were out of shyness. Upon seeing that girl, the Asuras were all infatuated with an appetite for sex. Purport. The difference between demons and demigods is that a beautiful woman is very easily attracts the minds of demons, but she cannot attract the mind of a godly person. A godly person is full in knowledge and a demoniac person is full of ignorance. Just as a child is attracted by a beautiful doll, similarly, a demon who is less intelligent and full of ignorance is attracted by material beauty and an appetite for sex. The godly person knows that this nicely dressed and ornamental attraction of high breasts, high hips, beautiful nose, and fair complexion is Maya. All the beauty a woman can display is only a combination of flesh and blood. Sri Shankaracharya has advised all persons not to be attracted by the interaction of flesh and blood. They should be attracted by the real beauty in spiritual life. The real beauty is Krishna and Radha. One who is attracted by the beauty of Radha and Krishna cannot be attracted by false beauty of this material world. That is the difference between a demon and a godly person or devotee. Text 32. Aho rupam aho taryam aho asya navam vayu madhye kam yama na nam akameva visarpita. Oh, oh, upon what beauty, oh, oh, dhairyam, what self-control, oh, oh, asya, navayam, budding, vaya, youth, madhya, in the midst, kama, yama, nanam, of those passionately longing for, akama, free from passion, Eva, like Visarpita Pati, walking with us. Translation. The demon praised her. Oh, what a beauty! What rare self-control! What a budding youth! In the midst of us who are passionately longing for her, she is moving about like one absolutely free from passion. Text 33. Vitarkayanto bahutatam santyam yamajakritam अभिसाम्भव्य विश्रम्भत पर्या पर्यापृच्छन् कुमेधस उत्पितर यंत indulging in speculation Bahuda variants Tamkar Sandhyam the evening to let Pramada a young woman Akritam in the form of Abhisambhavya treating with great respect Shrambhat only Laya Pritchan question Kumeda naked-minded translation indulging in various speculations about the evening twilight which appeared to them endowed with the form of a young woman. The wicked-minded asuras treated her with respect and fondly spoke to her as follows. Text 34. Kasi Kasyasi Rambhoru Overtastet Mini Upadravinapanyena Durbhagano Vibhase Kahu Asi Aryu Kasi Aryu Ramboru Upaka Vatva or Artha Objecte Yor Atra here Bahamini passionately Lady Rupa Beauty Dravina priceless Anyena with the commonly Durban unfortunate Nas Vibha they say you tantalize. Translation: who are you, a pretty girl? Whose wife or daughter are you? And what can be the object of your appearing before us? Why do you tantalize us, unfortunate as we are, with the priceless commodity of your beauty? Purport: mentality of the demon is being tamed by the false beauty of this material world. Is expressed herein. The demoniac can pay any price for the of skin beauty of this material world. They work uh, there is something. They work very hard all day and night, but the purpose of their hard work is to enjoy some sex life. Sometimes they misinterpret themselves as karma yogis, not knowing the meaning of the word yoga. Yoga means to live up with the supreme personality of Godhead, or to act in Krishna consciousness. A person who works very hard, no matter in what occupation, and who offers the result of the work to the service of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, is called a Karma Yogi. Text 35. Verse पढ़ लो. यवा वाचित्वम बले दिष्ट्या संवर्षणम व उत्सन्नोषम कृत्य मानः whoever va or achit anyone to you abal, O beautiful girl, distia by fortune. The Andarishana being of you, Utsunoshi, you agitate, Ikshama Nanam of the onlooker with a ball, read play, Manaha, the mind translation. Whoever you may be, O beautiful girl, we are fortunate being being able to see you. While playing with the ball, you have agitated the minds of all. Demons arrange many kinds of performance to see the glaring beauty of a beautiful woman. Here, it is stated that they saw the girl playing with a ball. Sometimes the demoniac arrange for so-called sport like tennis with opposite sex. Opposite sex. The purpose of which sporting is to see the bodily construction of the beautiful and enjoy sex mentally. men- Subtle sex mental. This demonic sex mentality of material enjoyment is sometimes encouraged by so-called yogis who encourage the public to enjoy sex life in different varieties and at the same time advertise that if one meditates on certain manufactured mantra, can become God within 6 months. The public want to be cheated and Krishna therefore creates such cheaters to misinterpret and delude. These so-called yogis are actually enjoyers of the world garbed as yogis. Bhagavad Gita, however, recommends that if one wants to enjoy life, then it cannot be with these gross success. A patient is advised by the experienced physician to refrain from ordinary enjoyment while in the disease condition. He cannot enjoy anything. He has to restrain his enjoyment in order to get rid of the disease. Similarly, our material condition is a disease. Similarly, our material condition is disease condition. If one wants to enjoy real sense enjoyment, then one must get free from the entanglement material existence in spiritual life. We can enjoy sense enjoyment, which has no end. The difference between the material and sex enjoyment is that material enjoyment is limited. Even if a man engages in material sex enjoyment, he cannot enjoy it for long. But when the sex enjoyment is given up, then one can enjoy spiritual life, which is unending. In Bhagavatam stated that Brahma Saukya, spiritual happiness, is Ananta, unending. Foolish creatures are ended by the beauty of matter, and that the enjoyment first is real, but that is not real enjoyment. Text 36.
Haribol. Okay, 1 second. Oh, there's so many. Okay, this is the last one for today.
Okay, text 36. No, like, like, Shalini, Pada, Padmagna, Bhu, Ratalina, Patat, Patangam, Madhyam, Vishidati, Ratsthana, Bharatam, Tante Vajrishter, Amala Sushika, Smuha, not Ekatra, in place stay, your Jayati stay, Salini, O beautiful woman, Pada Padmam, lotus feet, striking Muhu again and again, Karatalena by the arm of the hand, Patat bouncing, Patangam the ball, Madhyam waist, Vishidati that gets fatigued, breath full grown, Sthana of your breast, Bara by the weight beaten oppressed, Santa Eva as if fatigued, Drishti vision, Amala clear, so beautiful, Shikha your hair, Samoha by translation, O beautiful woman, when you strike the bouncing ball against the ground with your hand again and again, your feet do not stay in one place. Pressed by the weight of your full grown breast, your waist becomes fatigued and your clear vision grows dull, as it were. They braid your comely hair, puppet. The demons observed beautiful gestures in women's every step. The woman's every step. Here they praise her full grown dress, scattered hair, and her movements in stepping forward and backward while playing with the ball. In every step, they enjoy her womanly beauty, and while they enjoy her beauty, their minds become agitated by such desire, as moths at night surround a fire and are killed. So the demons become victims of the moments of ball like a beautiful woman. The scattered hair of beautiful woman also afflicts the heart of a lusty demon.
Haribol, thank you so much, Prabhu. So this is why they do this women's sport. It's just to enjoy this mental sex. So this is craziness by the demons.
Yes, Prabhu. And in today's Q&A also, I think he's Sundar Gopal Prabhu gave the example.
Yes, Prabhu. Okay, Haribol, now we go to Sixastakam. Chet, will we chant one by one or will someone chant the whole Sixastakam?
Prabhu, we can chant one by one.
But Prabhu, I didn't hear.
We can chant one by one, Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhu. Cheto darpanamarjanam bhavamahadavagni nirvapanam Shreyah kairava chandrika vitaranam vidyavadu jivanam Anandam buddhivardhanam pratipadam purnamritasvadanam Sarvatma snapanam param vijayate Sri Krishna Sankirtanam.
नामकारि बहुधानि च सर्वशक्तिस्तत्रार्पितमिता स्मरेण काल एतादृशी तव कृपा भगवन् ममपि दुर्दैवम् ईदृशम् याचनेनानुरागा
Trinadapi sunichena tarorapi sahisnuna manina manadena kirtaniya sadahari.
जनं न जनं न सुन कवितां वा जगदीशकामये मम मने जन्मनीश्वरे भवतातिरहितु गीत्वयि
Oh, are we here? Ainandatanuja kinkaram patitam mam mishame bhavam buddho kripaya tava pada pankaja stita duli sadarsam vichintaya.
नयनं गलश्रुधार यावतनं लब्धविरजया पुलकर्णितं वपुपदा तव नामग्रहणे भविष्यति
Yugaitam nimeshena chakshusha pravirshaitam shunyaitam jagat sarvam govinda virahena me.
अश्लिष्टवापदरत्तनुष्टुवम् अदर्शनं मन्माता करोतु वा यथा तथा वावतथा मत्प्राणनाथस्तु स एव
Haribol, glory to the Sri Krishna Sankirtan, which cleanses the heart of all the dust accumulated for years and extinguishes the fire of conditional life of repeated birth and death. The Sankirtan movement is the prime benediction for humanity at large because it spreads the rays of the benediction moon. It is the life of all transcendental knowledge. It increases the ocean of transcendental bliss and it enables us to fully taste the nectar for which we are always anxious.
O my Lord, your holy name can render all benedictions to living beings, and thus you have hundreds and millions of names like Krishna and Govinda. In these transcendent names, you have invested all your transcendent energies. There are not even hard and rules for chanting these names. O Lord, out of kindness, enable us to easily approach you by chanting these your holy names. But I am so unfortunate that I have no attraction for them.
One should chant the holy name of the Lord in a humble state of mind, thinking oneself lower than the straw in the street. One should be more tolerant than a tree, devoid of all sense of false prestige, and ready to offer all respect to others. In such a state of mind, one can chant the holy name of the Lord constantly.
My Lord, I have no desire to accumulate wealth, nor do I desire to pull women, nor do I want any number of followers. I only want your causeless devoted service birth after birth.
O son of Maharaj Nanda, Krishna, I am your eternal servitor. Somehow or other I have fallen into the ocean of birth and death. Please pick me up from this ocean of death and place me as one of the atoms at your lotus feet.
Oh, my Lord, when my eyes decorated with tears, love flowing constantly, in His holy name. When will my voice choke up, and when will the muscles of my body stand on and at the recitation of your name?
O Govinda, feeling your separation, I am considering a moment to be like 12 years or more. Tears are flowing from my eyes like torrents of rain, and I am feeling all vacant in the world in your absence.
I know no one but Krishna as my Lord. Please forgive me. So if he handles me roughly or in a place or makes me broken-hearted by being present before me, he is completely free to do anything and everything, for he is my worshipful Lord unconditionally. Shri Krishna
Haribol,
ki jai,
Jai, Chaitanya
Chaitanya
Mahaprabhu,
Mahaprabhu ki jai.
Jai. Bahujanma Kareyadi Shavana Kirtan Taputanapaya Krishna Pare Premadan. If one is infested with the 10 offenses in chanting of the Hare Krishna mantra, Mahamantra, despite his endeavor to chant the holy name for many birds, he will not get the love of God. That is the ultimate goal of this chanting. Prabhu, Rushikesh, Prabhu, do you want to read the 10 offenses by memory or should I read them?
Who can read them?
Yes, Prabhu, okay. So the 10 offenses against the holy name are as follows. The first offense is to blaspheme the devotees who have dedicated their lives for propagating the holy name of the Lord. The second offense is to consider the names like Lord Shiva, Lord Brahma to be equal or independent of the name of the Lord, of the name of the Lord. Third offense is to disobey the orders of the spiritual master or consider him as an ordinary person. Fourth offense is to blaspheme the Vedic literature or literature in persons to the Vedic version. Fifth offense is to give some interpretation to the holy name of the Lord. No, to consider the glories of chanting Hare Krishna to be imagination is fifth offense, and sixth offense is to give some interpretation to the holy name of the Lord. Seventh offense is to commit sinful activities on the strength of the holy name. Eighth offense is to consider the chanting of Hare Krishna as one of the auspicious ritualist activities mentioned in the Vedas as fruitive activities, karma kanda. Ninth offense is to instruct the faithless person about the glories of the holy name. 10th offense is to not have complete faith and to maintain material attachments even after understanding so many instructions on this matter. It is also an offense to be inattentive while chanting. Every devotee who claims to be a Vaishnava must guard against these offenses in order to quickly achieve the desired success, Krishna Prema. Let us offer our respectful obeisances unto all the Vaishnava devotees of the Lord. They can fulfill the desires of everyone just like desire trees, and they are full of compassion for the fallen conditioned souls. Panchakalpatarupyascha kripa sindhubhya vacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Nanda Gaudiya Vaishnavinda ki jai, Ishta Prabhupada ki jai, Nitai Gaura Premanande, Hari Hari Bol. Thank you so much,
I
Prabhu, for
can
that.
I can do to the 10 offenses.
Yes, Prabhu, okay. Tomorrow you can do. Thank you so much for your association, Prabhu. It was really nice reading session. Even though we didn't have many people, but it was still really nice to read.